You guys probably clicked on this video because you're unprofitable. And the truth is, your problem probably lies in one of these 4 categories that I'm going to go over today. Now, you guys have probably been stuck for months. You guys think that time is going to make you a more profitable trader. And the truth is, there's a fundamental flaw in the way that you guys are trading that is probably in one of these 4 categories that I'm going to help you guys out today. We're going to go step by step to figure out, okay, if you have a risk management problem, we're going to step by step to figure out, before you leave this fucking video, how in the world are we going to solve this fundamental flaw that is keeping you unprofitable forever? Now, the first things first is risk management. Now, 90% of you guys probably have a risk management problem and a psychology problem and a journaling problem and a strategy problem. So we're going to be solving all of that today. But the first things first is risk management. How do we solve risk management? Well, the problem is you guys already have a good risk management. But the problem is you guys are thinking about risk management wrong. You guys have a lack of perspective on what risk management actually is, because the truth is you guys have a risk management plan. You guys know when to stop out. You guys know where to put your stop losses at, but you probably don't follow it because of a psychological reason. Now, how in the world are we going to solve this risk management problem? Well, we think about it in a different aspect, and I don't want to be offensive in any ways whatsoever, but let me give you guys a clear example of something that I thought about the other day. Now, I was driving and I saw this woman driver absolutely cut right in front of me, pouring rain. Now, a lot of people would get emotional, but I changed my perspective. I assumed she was going to do that. I expected her to do that. So if you expect something to happen, you don't get emotional. Like, I expect you to be a bad driver is exactly the same thing with risk management. That same exact psychology, like where you don't get emotional, it's not because you're suppressing emotions, but it's because you're thinking about the situation in a different aspect, which is why I don't get emotional and things like that, because I expect you to be a bad driver. So you don't get emotional. So we're literally rewiring exactly how we think of risk management. Now, let's think about it this way. Right? Risk management is the only thing that will make you profitable. Because if you don't have this, you're not going to be profitable. You guys could have a crazy winning day, a crazy winning month, and risk management will be the only reason why you're back down to break even. That is super powerful. Risk management is super powerful. Now, the way that I think about risk management is this is the only thing that will protect my downside. And we have to think about it in a mathematical sense, because if I'm thinking about it like this, where we make money and how small of a loss can we make to allow our winners to keep compounding? Because the smaller this downside is, the bigger the upside will be. So I know if I can get my losses as small as possible, my upside is going to be way higher because I'm able to make this as small as possible. So I reframe exactly how I think about losing and my risk management. This is the only way that my winners will compound faster if I keep this as small as possible. A lot of you guys are chasing these trades. A lot of you guys are forcing trades, and then you guys average down on your stop losses. And instead of looking like this, you guys are going to look like this and then right back down. That's not compounding. The numbers don't lie. It's literally the same thing with anything else you do in life. Whether it's sports betting, the numbers suck, right? You guys are not going to be profitable. You guys are 3 years deep and you guys are only up $300. Like, congratulations for wasting your fucking time. Now, the only way to be profitable is with a proven system that shows the numbers real time. If I have a 1 to 2 risk to reward and I have a 50% win rate, this is my profitability curve, right? 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Right? On average, the numbers show that this is a profitable system. Now, yes, this is going to be boring. Okay, stop out here, we sell here, stop out here, we sell here. Nobody said this wasn't going to be boring, right? Trading is naturally boring. If you need this dopamine and you need to be filled, then go gamble, whatever. But do not bring that energy over here. I am all about the math and all about the stats here. 1 to 2 risk reward, 50% win rate. All I'm thinking about is the numbers. This is what's going to make me profitable. If I deviate away from my stop loss, I'm not going to be profitable. You guys are thinking about the money. I want you guys to understand this equation, right? This is the most important equation that you guys will ever hear. Emotions. Remember this equation. Now let's backtrack off of this, right? What does this even mean? What does emotions equals money even mean? Well, if you get emotional, right, it's probably from the money. Money makes you emotional. So we can figure out how to get rid of the money aspect. then we'll stop being emotional. So how do we get rid of the money if we're trading with money? Well, we stop thinking about the money, and instead we start thinking about the stats. We start thinking about the strategy, or we start thinking about the system behind how we trade. Because if you're paper trading, you're not going to have any emotions because there's no money involved, right? Once we get rid of the money, we get rid of the emotions, and we actually start to trade profitably. Now, that's exactly what we have to think about. How do we get rid of the emotions? Think about it differently, right? We reframe it. Just like the example I told you guys earlier, I reframed exactly how I thought about a situation. We're thinking about risk management differently. That is the only thing that will allow you to protect your winners and allow that to compound. The smaller the drawdown, the bigger the move up. 1 to 2 risk reward, right? If it was a 1 to 1, you're going like this. If it was a 1 to 2, that is the only way, right? The numbers don't lie, the stats don't lie. So that's how we reframe that risk management. Now, moving right into the psychology, it's the same way, right? Emotions equals money. So if we figure out how to get rid of the emotions, we're good to go, right? The only reason why 80% of people, they say 80-20, 80% psychology, 20% strategy, is because your psychology is the only reason why you won't follow your strategy to a T. Psychology is the only reason why you're not able to follow your plan. So if you're not able to follow your plan, you're not going to be profitable because the plan is the only reason why you can be profitable in this market. Now, how do we reframe our psychology? Again, thinking about it differently. We have to understand and have a system behind what we're doing. If we have a blueprint behind building a house, then we could build the house very confidently with no emotions because we've done it, right? We've done the reps. Now, if we don't have a blueprint and we're building a house, no matter how long you've been building houses for, there's still going to be some sort of unstructure there when it comes to building that house without a blueprint. So that's why with psychology, I show every single mentorship student a full stats sheet of exactly the stats that show that this is a very profitable system. I show them my stats to show them that it's a very profitable system. And I show them, okay, if you have this and this and this, it is very easy to be profitable if you just stick to a system. And I make it sound so easy that they're like, how have I not been profitable yet? And it's because you're not following a set system. Once you guys see the system, the psychology part of trading is so easy because you're like, why wouldn't I not follow that? How would I get FOMO? What is FOMO, right? Why am I going to force a trade? What do you mean force a trade, right? I'm just sticking to the same plan that has kept me profitable for all these years. Moving over to the next one, right? Your strategy. If you have a strategy problem, well, you're just lazy, right? It takes 2 weeks to learn a strategy, and then you just get better and better and better. But in 2 weeks, you can learn 80% of my strategy. 80% of my strategy. That's enough to be profitable. But you're lazy, right? You guys are looking for these ways out. You guys are like, oh, well, I'm just going to watch YouTube and barely actually watch YouTube. You guys are going to watch YouTube, but don't take notes. You guys are going to watch my videos and don't actually, take the notes or take the time to really see it on paper and then back test it with whatever brokers you guys have. You guys probably don't even have a brokerage yet, maybe, because you guys are lazy. You guys could be doing more. You guys should be in a panic that you're not profitable yet. 80% of the strategy learned in 2 weeks. That should be easy. That should be the bare minimum, right? So if you guys have a strategy problem, no, you just have a lazy problem. You're just lazy and you're procrastinating, and it should be not that hard. Oh, where do I learn your strategy at? I have so many videos learning, teaching you guys a strategy. I have live trading videos. If you guys really dissect it and really want it, you guys will be able to learn from there. It's not that hard. Now, journaling. You guys will journal and just leave it, right? You guys will just write random stuff and don't actually apply anything that you guys are journaling for. Journaling is meant to see your stats and then make educated moves off of your journaling stats. So for example, if my win rate is starting to lag a bit, I'm going to figure out, okay, why is my win rate dropping this week versus the last month? Why is my win rate 35% this month and 70% the last month? Okay, what am I doing differently? I'm going to dissect all of my losing trades and figure out what in the world is going on. And if I am looking at my losing trades and realizing that these are really great losing trades, then I'm going to say, okay, am I missing out on winning trades then? Am I hesitating on winning trades? What is going on? Is my winning trades turning into losing trades? That's what we're figuring out in the journal. We're not journaling just to journal and just to put in the notepads. We are finding the stats that will improve our trading and have the most ROI to our trading performance. That's exactly why we journal. Now, one of these 4 steps, right? it's really not that hard to become profitable once you change the way you trade and how you think about trading. But the truth is, in a 10-15 minute video, you're probably not going to go from step 1 to step 50. But hopefully I open your eyes to realize what trading actually is, and there's really only 4 categories that you need to work on in order to be a profitable trader. Nothing changes and nothing changes. I really want to emphasize that if you have been trading for like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or a couple months, and you're like, oh, I just need more time in the market, and you're really not seeing any improvement, you have a fundamental flaw, and that will keep you unprofitable for years. I can see your trajectory already because I've worked with so many people that are in the same exact boat as you. You guys have been trading for years, right? You might have been trading for 3 months. I can tell you in 2 years, if nothing changes, you're going to be stuck exactly like that. No amount of time and no amount of money will change that. You're going to be stuck. You're literally going to be stuck. Why? Because there's something wrong with the way you're trading. Now, that's exactly what I go over in my mentorship. First link in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.